Hi, I'm Joan Kozlowski.
And I'm Raul Stepikoff.
We're at the Edibles Demonstration Garden at Indian Valley Organic Farm and Garden.
And we're going to take you through the seasons and teach you straw bale gardening.
We've been experimenting with straw bale gardening, and it's worked really well for a number of reasons. Straw bales are a lot less expensive than building raised beds. They're also knee-high, so you don't have to crawl on the ground to garden, and there are no weeds in them. You can plant earlier in the season because it's so warm inside the bales. You can't overwater it, and it holds moisture really well. Another great thing is that you can put a straw bale anywhere, even on your deck or on concrete. There's no need for crop rotation, no need to improve the soil, and the great thing about it is that at the end of the season, you get free mulch and free compost.
Straw bales like these can be purchased at any feed store for about $10 to $12 a bale. You want to make sure that you get straw and not hay, because straw has no seeds and hay has seeds in it. This is a rice straw bale, but you can purchase wheat or oats and other grains too. It's really important which side of the bales that you have up. The bales are created by folding grasses in half, so you have one side that's folded and the other side is the cut grasses. One way that you can tell it, sometimes it's hard to tell, is by taking your spade and putting it in here. And if it's really, really tight, this is not the side that you want to plant in because it's too hard to dig into.
So we start with chicken wire that we lay down, and that's going to be, and we're going to set the straw bale centered over the chicken wire so that we can wrap the wire up from the sides, from both sides, and then we take some other wires just to cross over to hold them in place. And we do the same thing at the end. Okay, so the wire we're going to pull over from the side, that side, and then we're going to pull up this side. And we've got space for anywhere from 6 to 8 inches across the center of the bale that gets carved out for planting. And then we take some other wires just to cross over to hold them in place. And we do the same thing at the end. And we have the chicken wire here because we learned over a series of years that without it, the bales are going to fall apart before we're finished harvesting. As the straw bales start to season and growing, then there are the roots of the plants in them, they start to decompose on us because they get very saturated with the water, and the roots sort of take hold and start to push apart, and the straw bales don't make it through the season. We found that we had another problem, is that the raccoons, the rabbits, and anybody else that was passing through here that was not on just 2 feet would start to claw at the straw bales, either to get to the moisture in them or to get to the vegetables, or just because they had nothing else to do that night.
For the next 10 days, we water the bales every day to get them very saturated. And every other day, we add a high nitrogen fertilizer like feather meal. The fertilizer starts the compost process inside the bale and provides the nutrients for the plants when we plant them. There's no need to dig the fertilizer in because this is a powdered fertilizer and it's water soluble and it gets washed in with the water.
Hi, it's spring. We're here at the Edible Demonstration Garden planting out our summer vegetables. We have straw bales that have been conditioned with water and fertilizer to give the plants a good start, and now we're going to plant them.
Just like when we plant in soil, we can choose to use seedlings as to start our plants, or we can direct seed into the bale. For direct seeding into the bales, add 1 to 2 inches of potting mix on top. Place your seeds where you want them and cover them with a light layer of soil mix also. Water them well and keep them moist until they germinate. For seedlings, dig a hole into the bale, put some potting soil in there just to be sure there's enough for the roots to take hold, and then tuck your plant inside. Then at the end, cover it a little bit with potting soil if you think you need to. Make sure you water them in well. It's summer and it's harvest season in the garden. Here we have our summer squash that is just thriving in the summer. It was planted back in the spring, and now we're getting lots of harvest from our yellow squash here, and then from our Magda squash, which is a green squash here. Here we have our winter squash that we planted in the spring, and it's really doing well. It won't be harvested until November, but look how great it looks now. Here we are at the end of our straw bale planting season. The bales have shrunk a lot because of the composting that went on inside of it since last March. Stephanie's pulling back the gopher wire we installed last season, and she's going to show you the compost that was created by the conditioning process we went through last spring. And this is free compost for your garden. The second thing that you get from the end of the season straw bales is the straw that hasn't composted. And Stephanie is going to show you a big chunk of it. We use this for mulch for our garden beds and also for brown material in our composters. Now you know how to garden in straw bales. If you want more information, check out the Straw Bale Gardening book by Joel Karsten.
And be sure to look for the link below on how to condition the bales.
Thanks for watching.